are tuning in to the Bad and Bougie Moms podcast show. Welcome to the Bad and Bougie Moms podcast show, where we pass no judgments on being pro-anti-kids for at least 30 minutes. Get ready to experience some amazing mommy time with these badass moms sharing their point of view on relationships, self-love, social media, and plenty more. Hi, you guys, and welcome to another episode of the Bad and Bougie Moms podcast. I hope everyone is doing well. Today is Tuesday, August I want to say it's the 20th. Yes, 8 more days until my birthday. Whoop, whoop. Team Virgo all the way. Anywho, on this episode, I had the pleasure of speaking with this very lovely lady. She is amazing. Honestly, I'm not even gonna get into the episode because, guys, like, y'all would not believe half of the things that she's been through in her lifetime. So before we get started, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce her. Her name is Clerichena, which is so beautiful. She is a trauma transformation expert who helps women take their debilitating traumatic experience and use them as fuel to thrive. See, y'all already know this is going to be good. I swear. All right. Her purpose in life is to help others ignite their inner alchemist and transform those stones into gold. She is a mom of 2 boys and run her amazing business while homeschooling and breastfeeding both of them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. She drops plenty of gems, not only about her history or what she had to go through as far as her upbringing, but also just wellness benefits. I definitely took some notes from her and tried to implement them in my daily lifestyle. So I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you like, comment, share with your friends, and we will see you on the flip side. Hi, you guys. This is Britt with the Bad and Bougie Moms podcast show. And on today's episode, I have Miss Clerichena. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Brittany?
I am good. So to kick everything off, just tell us a little bit about you. Where are you from? How many kids you have? And your number one most memorable moment of like when you gave birth. It doesn't matter which kid, just one good moment that you could share with us.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. Okay, so I was born and raised in Haiti until I was about 10. Then I moved to Florida for better educational opportunities, and I've basically been living in Florida ever since. I have 2 children, 2 boys, one's 4, one's 2. The most memorable thing when it comes to childbirth was really with my second child, because I gave birth at home. And I actually didn't know I was in labor until I was like 7 centimeters, because my oldest child was induced. So the pain that I was experiencing didn't like actually gradually go up with him. So I definitely didn't know what to expect. So that was very interesting because I legit had to squat my second child out. And I ended up spending about like 4+ hours at 10 centimeters. I thought I was going to die. And
I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's just like, girl, you be thinking you're about to die when it comes to you got these children. I legit, I mentally prepared myself for death. I was like, okay, I'm good. I've lived a great life. It's okay if I go right now. But I was able to squat him out, and he came out like really big. But that was a very, very memorable birth, because I think that may be the reason why I'm not pregnant with a 3rd child right now. Like I'm kind of I need a break, like a few years.
I know, and with no mess, no nothing, being induced and then going from having like straight natural is a big jump.
It is, but it's not. Just because even though I was induced, I never actually took the pain meds. So I was still experiencing
the pain and everything.
It's just like I feel like the difference for me is I feel like being induced is like labor on steroids. It's not natural. Like it doesn't gradually go up. It's just like it's the same the whole entire time. And I thought I was gonna die with him, but he came out quick, like my water broke, everything. My second child's in Aries and I'm a Libra, and he really wanted to make sure that I know who he is. So he made me wait a minute.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. My youngest, my 1-year-old Remington, he's a Libra. His birthday's October the 10th.
I'm October 14th, girl.
Nice.
We are.
Yes, y'all are some good people. I've dated a Libra before. Y'all are good people. I can't even front.
I feel like we try. It's all about balance, because I feel like anybody, like everybody have good in them, you know? It's just all about if the person know their traumas and have dealt with their traumas, because if not, they will be projecting their pain onto everybody.
Right. And speaking about trauma, so your bio mentioned that you are a trauma transformation expert. Explain a little bit more to us about that. What happened? Like, how did you become this expert?
Oh my gosh, I've been through some ish. Okay, like I've legit been through a lot. I kind of fell into this role. Like, this wasn't my original plan. My original plan was to go to law school.
Okay.
But I kind of fell into this, and I'm just so passionate about it that I'm gonna die doing what I'm doing. But I left my mom in Haiti because I was raised by my mom until I was 10. And when I got to 10, I basically moved to the United States with my dad because there was just better opportunities. Because in Haiti, it doesn't matter if you go to college, you go to a university or not. There's not readily made jobs that you can get to basically pull yourself up by the bootstrap.
Got you. Okay.
My mom wanted me to basically have a little bit more options. So she sent me over here to live with my dad and my stepmom. The interesting thing about that is my dad cheated on my stepmom with my mom and created me.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh. So
okay, hold on. So and your mom sent you. So now you're in Florida with the stepmom, and she knows that, right?
Yes, everybody
knows it. Okay,
knows, but nobody sit down and have conversations with me about it because I'm a child. So I basically had to come into the house to live with her, but I was very oblivious to it all. And my father told me to call my stepmom mom. And at the time, I didn't think there was anything wrong with it because I was really, I had gotten really good with following directions because I got tired of getting in trouble. Right. So I did as I was told, and I think that was an extra sticker for my stepmom, you know, because like she already had to look at me, and I look just like my dad. She already had to look at me, and I not only do I look like my dad, I'm named after my dad, and she has 2 children that are older than me by my dad. So it was a constant reminder for her. And these are things that I've come to the conclusion of now that I'm older. When I was living with her, I really didn't understand because she was very, very abusive. She was abusive physically, like she would take off her shoes and hit me with it. She was abusive verbally. This lady, she was in so much pain that she legit had 2 fridge in the house. One for her and one for me and my sister, because she did not want to share the same fridge with us. Wow. Like she was in a lot of pain, and it showed in all of her actions. And because of that, her being the woman of the house, I feel like it also influenced my dad in his behavior towards me a lot. My dad, as I've come to understand now, is very narcissistic. And he wants to have control over everything. And me, with my personality, I don't care who's mad, I'm gonna do what's right. So that was one thing that rubbed my dad the wrong way a lot of the times, because he didn't understand why it was that I wasn't just following what he was saying, because I was following my own heart. So that got me in a lot of trouble with my father. But aside from those traumas, because I was physically abused by them, I experienced a lot of sexual violations. So by the time I was actually 12, I had been arrested 4 different times. And
was it about family members or like at school?
No, they weren't family members. What's funny is all of them were at different parts of my life. Like I was The first happened when I was around 4 or 5. That's like one of my fewest memories from that time, and that happened by a holistic medicine man that was supposed to be aligning my body. And I never told my mom about that because he was an elder. And as black kids, as black women, we are taught to respect your elders and stuff like that. It's as if like we are taught that our voice is not as valuable as somebody that is older than us. So because of that, I automatically assumed that nobody was going to care about what I got to say, so I didn't tell my mom. And then around when I was like 7 or 8, this neighbor basically got naked and tried to hand me a teddy bear so I could come into his room. But luckily, my mom called my name at the right time, and I basically like ran out of his yard and went to my mom. But the other instances, there was one he was my godfather. I don't necessarily I never really considered him family, but he was my godfather, and he basically laid in the bed. Like, me and my sister were forced to lay in the bed with him, and protection of my sister, because I didn't want her to go through that. I basically had my sister in front of me, and I was in between him and my sister.
Right.
So there's that, and then it's I don't know, it's so interesting because when I talk about it, it's kind of like it's almost as if like I was a magnet for things like that. But now that I'm older, I definitely understand why I went through those things. Because I've been able to transform them. However, like it's really interesting talking about it because it just seemed like it kind of seemed almost unbelievable in a way because all of them were just so different. But
you're so calm, and just because I'm like, oh my God, I would probably have started breaking down crying by now. But the way you just deliver it, you could tell that you have found peace, in it.
I'm so at peace with everything just because I've gotten to a point where I've forgiven everybody because one of the things that I've learned throughout my life is that hurt people. No one that's happy is going to get up in the morning and be like, you know what, I'm going to rape a little girl today. So if somebody is at a point where they're going out and trying to do things like that to me, it's because they are in a level of pain that honestly I can't even fathom. And it doesn't negate from what they do. I acknowledge that, and I look at that, as well as I feel like every circumstance that induce suffering in you is kind of like being given a big rock, like a big heavy rock. And when you are given that rock, no matter how big it is, it can be a ton, it can be 2 tons, or whatever it is, depending on the pain that it induced. It's an opportunity for you to activate your inner alchemist. Because if you activate your inner alchemist, you can transform that rock into gold. And that I've been able, because everything about my life, even now when I look at everything, I'm able to be the mom that I am because I was so abused.
And that's what I was going to ask, like, as far as your parenting skills or the way that you parent, are you overprotective of your kids, or you just kind of are just more aware of their surroundings? You make sure, certain people don't come in, the energy, the environment.
I'm not necessarily overprotective over my children. I'm like, I parent in a very interesting way. I parent in a way that I was not taught at all. I have a true relationship with my children in a way that I have a lot of respect for my children. So I watch how my children are with people. I'm very, very sensitive to people's energies. So if at any point you show me any level of toxicity, whether that is your words do not align with your actions, you're not going to be in my life for long. And the other thing is, I basically dedicated my life to raising my children full time.
Okay.
So they are with me all the time. Like I homeschool, they've been with me ever since I gave birth to them. They've never been in daycare or anything like that. I think maybe if I had to put them in daycare, or maybe if I had to put them in somebody else's care, maybe I would have to start thinking about their safety a little bit. But because they are always with me, that's honestly not anything that ever crossed my mind, because there's nobody that gets around my children that I have not already dealt with.
Right.
And no.
Right. Got you. Understandable. Okay. So flipping back to all the traumatic experience. Okay. So how is your father and your stepmom, like, how is your family relationship and dynamic now since you have forgave them?
I've forgiven them not because they apologized. I've forgiven them because it was necessary for me to grow. I don't really have a relationship with them, just because they're still who they are. And I'm not, like, I've accepted that. Part of me forgiving them is accepting that they are who they are. So I will have conversations with them if they call me, but I don't necessarily need to be talking to them every single day or every single week, because like I had said, my dad is narcissistic, so he feels like he can tell me what to do with my life at any point and I'm supposed to listen. And he tries to be very manipulative about it, because this man showed up to my college graduation after not seeing him for 4 years, and basically stood there and was like, I should be thankful for him because he's the reason why I'm graduating college. Mind you,
I didn't even see you this whole time. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. So it's like it's very crazy. But I feel like one of the things that I've come to truly understand is, when you accept people, you have to be able to stop having expectations of them that you know that they cannot. You know, like my father is never going to be that I love you dad. I don't know if he's even I don't think he's capable of empathy, you know. So because of that, I don't expect those things from him. And because of the type of person that I am and how I develop relationships with people, me and him don't necessarily need to have a relationship on that level. Like, he's still my father, we can talk. However, that whole like, oh daddy, this is how my day's going, nah.
And that's so fun that you mentioned that, because me and my other girlfriends, we was having a talk about, you know, parents, and once you get older and you become grown, you start to realize that your parents are just individuals and people themselves. You know, just because they're your mother or your father, they could still do stupid stuff, they can still be nasty people. It's just that they just have that title on, you know, to you. But like, from my background, I'm from the country. My mom raised 3 girls, and my older sisters, they have that mentality that, you know, parents are parents. It doesn't matter. Whatever they say, go. And I'm the baby. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, if I feel like you disrespecting me, I'm like, I pay my own bills and my own house. I got 3 kids. I don't got time for it. I'll talk to you later. Like, And my sister be like, that's wrong. You shouldn't be like that. That's your mother. I'm like, no.
I block my mom sometimes. And like, I have to block her. My mom is extremely emotionally manipulative, and she has a toll on me, you know, because I'm so loyal to her that I'll block her. Like, she'll be doing something, but I'll be like, you know what, listen, we need to stop talking for a little bit. I will block her for months at a time.
Right. Oh my gosh.
It's out of love. Like, it's like, I love you so much that I have to cut our communication, because if I keep talking to you, I'm gonna grow to hate.
Right, exactly. All right, so as far as relationships, going through that type of traumatic upbringing, how do you view relationships as far as with a significant other? Are you pretty cautious about, again, my whole thing would be about the energy. It's like, if I feel any type of toxic energy starting to come my way, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I need for you to go. So how has it been being in, you know, trying to find love and being in a relationship for you?
It's weird because you would think that I would go through stuff like that and I would be scared, but I'm really like the opposite of that. Like I meet people and I show them all of my scars. I show them where I hurt. I show them everything. And it's like, to a lot of people, it's weird. It's because vulnerability is my power. I feel like if you know what pains me and what hurt me, that like, because I've shown it to you, that will show me who you are. Because if you go and you try to use that vulnerability to hurt me, I know you're not the one for me. But if you are able to be like, okay, you know what? I know this is painful to you. So because of that, I'm going to walk around it or move this way or move that way. Then I know you care, because I believe that love is an action. It's not a feeling. I don't care how much you say you love me. You got to act lovingly, and acting lovingly is helping me to keep peace of mind. So if you know what it is that hurt me, if you know my triggers, and you take the extra initiative to not necessarily trigger me in this way, or communicate on a level that is a little bit more soothing, like I appreciate stuff like that. I tend to it's the one thing that I feel like all of those things has done as far as like relationship wise. I am very, very careful about the people that I share my vagina with.
Vagina like, power. Oh, go ahead.
I'm like, even in college, I wasn't the experimental type, just because I'm very much attached to the people that I end up sharing myself with intimately on that level. So because of that, I'll go on dates. I will talk to people. I will develop friendships with people because I'm very, very friendly. However, us getting to the point where we're getting intimate, as in like sharing sacred energy in that way, is extremely rare for me. That is something that I'm just like, nah, like it's almost like you got to prove yourself 10 times more than the average person for you to like get in between these legs.
Okay, that's how it should be for everyone, though. I wish there was more people like you in the world. Like don't share your power with everyone.
Don't cut the same, you know. Like actually, I had a friend that said this to me when I was younger, because she was like, "I'm surprised you're not more promiscuous," and I'm like, "Why would I be more promiscuous?" She was like, "Well, if I was raped, I feel like I would do this and I would do that," and that does happen. I feel like when people have experienced rape and molestation, especially in the manner that I have, I feel like there are two ways that they go. Sometimes somebody will become numb to sex. So they become numb where it's like they don't ever want sex. Like sex is just horrible. They never want a man to touch them. And then there are those other people that have been proven to them, they have been proven to be fuckable. So because of that, that's all they feel like they have to offer. So it's almost like they're constantly looking for validation by doing what they have gotten evidence that they're good for, you know? So it's like you can either like, it's me, I don't know, girl, I don't know how I ended up here, because my brain just don't work like other people do. But there are people that are numb and there are people that are sex addicts.
Right. It's just two, either you go far left or you go far right.
Yep. And there's a lack of balance. There's usually a lack of balance. But I don't know. Like I honestly just feel like everything, I think it's also the fact that my sexual violations weren't like the way that they happened. I feel like had a lot to do with how I took them, because I never really like, I didn't feel shame about being raped, because I was just like, this is wrong, you know, like this is wrong. I don't care what nobody says, this is wrong. However, the part that was really hurtful to me in those situations, or at least in the situation that really broke me the most, was my family's reaction to everything. I think that's the reason why I don't necessarily take it the way that other people do, because it wasn't really about the rape for me. Like the rape was effed up. I completely felt violated. However, the pain that I experienced from my family kind of overshadowed the act itself. Yes, it totally overshadowed it. So I didn't like, I couldn't sit into, oh my gosh, this happened. He did this to me. I was more so shocked at the fact that, wow, I'm seeing everybody's true colors out here. You know, like there ain't no family in this. Yeah, so I was more shocked by that than anything.
So when you did bring it to your family, were they in denial? Did they say no, that that really didn't happen to you, or did anybody believe you? Or
the interesting thing is, and this is why I kind of feel like I know at some point I'm gonna have to write a book, because there's so many details that we would need like a whole hour to go into. But when after all of the molestation, I was raped at 14.
Right. Okay.
And that rape was interesting because my father and my sister's husband drove me to the house of the man that raped me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And interesting thing is, my father, who I'm assuming didn't know him prior to us getting to his house, but my sister's husband and my sisters knew him. My father specifically told me to go into the room with him alone.
Okay, this is after it happened, or this was before?
This is as it's about to happen.
It happened. Okay.
Like he told me to go into the room with this man alone. And by him telling me to go into this room with this man alone, that was when everything went down and he raped me and stuff like that. But the really heartbreaking thing was, I'm 14 years old. I've never met this man before. You tell me to go in a room with him alone. I come out of the room and I am crying my eyes out. Like I legit cannot stop my tears at that point. And nobody asked me why I'm crying. Like nobody asked me anything. Like I swear to God, like nobody. Mind you, there's many adults in the room because it was a two-story house. I'm coming downstairs and I'm crying my eyes out. No one asked me why I'm crying. Nobody asked me anything. And that happened actually January 10th, 2008. That was a Thursday. By the time I got to the location that I was going to Thursday night, I called one of my sisters, one of my stepmom and my dad's daughters. And I was really close to her, so I told her what happened. So she called her sister and basically told her, hey, this is what Clerichena is saying. What is going on? Because the other sister knew the man that raped me. So next morning, very interesting thing. Next morning, I wake up. My sister calls me into the kitchen and she's like, what's going on? I heard this and stuff like that. Did he touch you? I was like, yeah, this happened. That happened. She was like, you know what? Forget about it.
What?
Like, I was like, what? And then I walked away. I'm in the bathroom brushing my teeth. I hear the door open. I look to see who's at the door. The same man that raped me the night before is walking into the door.
So he just keep on popping up. He just around.
Oh, he just keep on popping up. And then it's very interesting because he was giving everybody money. And I wasn't aware of this, but I thought it was weird because the first time that I met him, he knew where I went to school. He had all this information about me, and I had never met him before. But he was giving some of my family members money, including that sister. And when I came out to be like, hey, he did this to me, it was kind of like I was messing with their money.
Yeah.
So they were just like, listen, we're not going to talk about this. So it wasn't even my family that called the police because it was reported. He's now in jail.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, girl, I'm about to go out looking for him myself. He
was a serial rapist, and they had been looking for him for a very long time. But nobody would actually have a case against him. The minute that the case would come up, he would either threaten them or pay them off. However, he couldn't do that to me because honestly, when he was like, I'm gonna kill you, I was like, listen, I'd rather die than hold your secret. When it came to money stuff, I was like, I don't care about your money. I'm still being abused. Is your money gonna be like, I'm 14. I can't leave. Like, I don't care about your money. But he was a serial rapist. So once they were able to catch him, they were really, really happy because he ended up getting multiple sentences, because once he got convicted from me, since he was already in jail, all of the other cases started going through, and he was just getting convicted back to back.
Wow. Well, good. And see, it takes one. I tell you, it takes one to speak out against it. And then, everything else is going, all right, so we about to switch gears, girl, because I feel like I'm on Lifetime Child. I'm just like, I'm like, oh my gosh. I can't, like I said, you are a very strong woman. Kudos to you, because no one, I can't imagine. I'm just over. Okay. So to motherhood. So you mentioned that you work your business, and also you are doing the whole homeschooling thing. So
Yeah.
take me through like one of your regular days. So like tomorrow, give me your schedule. What do you do? Do you get up in the morning, work out, eat oatmeal? How everything, how is your life?
Well, my day, I tend to wake up very early. I try to wake up at about like 4:30, but my youngest child is still breastfeeding.
Okay.
So it kind of depends on him, because I may be awake, but I may have to like nurse him back to sleep. So I'll wake up at 4:30. I'll drink my tea, and I'll have my moment of meditation and do my exercises. And by the time the sun is coming up, that's usually when the children are waking up. They wake up pretty early. So from that, I will entertain them a little bit. They will eat some fruits because we're completely plant-based. Yeah, they'll eat some fruits. I'll go ahead and have my smoothie, because nobody in our house have cooked food before 12. So breakfast for me is usually a smoothie, and the children have fruits in the morning. After everybody I've had my smoothie, and they've had their fruits, I will go ahead and go through the schooling period. The schooling period is not necessarily, it's not traditional at all. It's not as if like he's sitting at a desk. I have posters that I've made myself, and posters that also have to reiterate certain things. So we'll go through our regular line of repetition, as well as like his numbers and stuff like that. And then we'll do reading, like where he's reading certain words, and we're constantly like increasing the amount of words, like as far as like how big the words are. So we'll constantly be doing that. And then we'll do math, like we'll do addition. My oldest has been doing multiplication as of lately. So
wait, the 4-year-old?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, they can learn. Okay. If you are patient enough to teach it to them, they'll pick it up, because the brain is so malleable. It's just all about repetition.
Okay, noted. Okay, now I'm gonna have to get this 1-year-old on some stuff now. Okay.
Yes, like the sooner you start them, they just like it flows, because then learning is not a chore. Learning is like a regular thing.
Right. Okay.
So we'll go through that process, and then after that we'll take a break. What I've been doing lately is once we're done with the regular schooling stuff, I'll have them have about like an hour of this show called Achille and Me on YouTube. I don't know if you know about it.
Yes, I have seen it before. Yes.
Okay, yes. I really like it because it's African based.
Yes.
So they can see children, like a child that looks like them.
Look like them.
Yeah. We'll have basically an hour of that. And after that, like around in between 1, they will go down for their nap. I always try to do my work, either like my biggest stuff that I have to do for my business, I try to batch them on Saturdays and Sundays, because then they can be with their father, and I don't have to be trying to do both both things at once, like being a mom and then trying to do my business stuff. But once they took their nap usually range from about 2 to 3 hours. I will go ahead and do any work that I need to do for my business that day. Any posting or anything that I need to do, I will go ahead and get that done. And then once they wake up, it's back to them again, like it's their attention again. And it's usually like they'll have like an hour of something, like we'll do a worksheet, and then we'll have some outside time, And then we ended with some TV time and then get ready for bed. That's the majority of it. But the thing that makes it easy for me is my business is my life. So it's not necessarily that I have to step outside of what I do on a regular basis to conduct business. Yes, I have to sit down and I have to have certain meetings, but the stuff that I do when it comes to my clients, those are stuff that I do all the time, so it's not too hard managing them both.
Right. Okay. I have so many questions. Okay. So the first question that I have, all right, you mentioned that you guys do not eat any cooked foods before 12?
Yes.
Okay. So is that a religious based thing or what is
no,
like?
No. It's not religious.
It's
not. Go ahead.
So, okay. So where did y'all get this from? No, because I'm thinking like that makes complete sense because at least your body is regulated. You're only putting, and I know you say you guys on a plant-based diet, but I'm just like, you don't have all the heavy stuff. Like, I would love that. So what made you guys switch to that?
That's okay, so I'm basically the family physician. Like my children are not vaccinated or anything like that. And as I was going through the process of transitioning from the way that I used to eat, because I used to eat everything, I didn't really have any regulation to the way that I eat. But as I studied things more, I came to the epiphany, the realization that it takes nutrients to digest nutrients. And that when you cook anything, a lot of the vitamins are sensitive to heat and they're sensitive to water. So anytime that you cook a food, the nutrients level of it decreases. So with that, I was like, okay, so the best way for me to get all of my nutrients is to have some type of raw food in my body throughout the day. The other thing is because cooked food has been altered, because if you think on a chemistry standpoint, the chemicals, the stuff that's in the food, once you add heat, it transforms into something else. So because cooked food takes a lot longer to digest. Raw food, raw fruits and vegetables will take about 3 hours to digest, whereas cooked food will take about 12 to 24 hours. If you're eating meat, it may be more. So because of that, I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe it'll be better because the way that I looked at it is if I eat cooked food in the morning and it takes 12 hours to digest, eating an apple around lunchtime is not going to help me because now that apple which would have digested in 3 hours now have to wait 12 hours until the cooked food that I had that morning to be digested in order for the apple to be digested. And by then the apple has fermented because it's just been sitting there
in your stomach. Yeah.
So by then you're not getting the full nutrients that you could be getting. So once I realized that, I was just like, you know what? It's better for me to give the food or I'm going to be eating raw. It's better for me to have the raw in the morning because then it's kind of like depositing in my body bank account.
Right.
And so that as the day goes on, as I have my cooked food for lunch or cooked food for dinner, I've already deposited enough raw nutrients to digest the cooked food that I'm going to be eating. And then I'm good, then I can stay regulated and I can be going to the bathroom regularly. And then the other thing is I end up not feeling heavy. Because in the morning I'm like, I'm ready to go. By the time I eat my cooked food, I usually have done all of the main things I have to do that day because since I have so much energy, I can go really, really quick. And me and my children are on schedule, so I can put things here and there. Everything is just amazing. So it works for me. Anytime that I don't do it, anytime that I go off of it, which I really don't because I feel it makes my life really easy. Anytime that I go off anything, my body feels it immediately.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I'm going to start this tomorrow because that makes complete sense. Like, because right now I do drink my celery juice and everything every morning. So I'm trying to build myself there, but But with the kids, like, my kids, they're old enough, they're actually in school. So being able to get them on some type of schedule with food, the kids at lunchtime, they eat whatever. So it's just having to get them acclimated to it. But for myself, yes, I'm very health conscious, and if it makes sense and I'm able to do it, I'm all for it. So I'm definitely going to try that, because that definitely sounds really good. Okay, so tell us more about your business. What is it? What do you do? I'm guessing it is a lifestyle business, since you did mention that. And how long have you been doing it for?
Well, okay, so I have multiple businesses. I hope that does not make it sound like I'm all over the place.
No, you're just very focused and driven.
Yes. I'm very big on holistic health. So I feel like I'm gonna have to break this down. Okay, so
break it down, girl. Break it down. Go ahead.
Technically, there's 3 different aspects to my business.
Okay.
One is the food. I basically help people transition from eating fully meat stuff to eating in a way that is more conducive to a healthier body and a healthier life. That is usually plant-based, because that's really what I believe in. So I basically help people transition from eating that way, eating just whatever is available, to eating in a way that is a lot more health focused. That's one aspect of my business, and that is something that I do through coaching, consulting. I will basically do a fridge audit. I'll do a cabinet audit. I will be sharing recipes with you as far as like how to get certain things to taste good, because especially as Black people, the biggest thing that we have when it comes to food is about taste. If we like, the thing about going vegan, anytime I tell somebody that I'm vegan, they're like, what you eat? I'm like, I eat a lot of stuff, but if you know how to season, you can make anything taste good. So I basically teach people how to basically make cooking an art, because cooking is an art for me, so make cooking an art and create delicious meals. And that's one aspect. The other aspect is herbal cleansing. One of the things that I believe is, it doesn't make sense for you to bring in new furniture into a house that you have not cleaned. And I feel like that's what a lot of people try to do when it comes to eating healthy. They will have backed up waste in their colon that they have not gotten rid of because they haven't been regular in years. And they'll just like, well, I'm going to start eating healthy tomorrow. And it's like, no, like, you're going to have to clean out your body. You're going to have to detox your body.
Detox it, right.
And I basically help people do that with herbs, because I garden. So I basically bring together certain herbs to clean different areas of the body, starting with the colon, then to the blood, then the kidney, the liver, and the lymphatic system. From the things that I've learned, I believe that all of those aspects need to be focused on at different parts and need to have a certain level of attention, starting with the colon, because since the colon is the main highway of waste getting out of the body, you cannot clean any other area in your body without first cleaning out the colon. And then after that, go through the blood, because the blood touches everything. And then once the blood is clean, I feel like it's good to start cleaning the kidney, because then, because the kidney filters out the blood. So once you start cleaning the kidney, it already has fresh blood that's going through it that has already been cleansed. So it's not as if you're adding waste to a clean kidney, if that makes sense. Right?
That makes complete sense. Yes.
Yeah. So I basically, I help people cleanse by going through that whole process, that whole method that I put together. And the last but not least aspect of my business, it's all about mindset and transformation of trauma. People do not understand how harmful not dealing with your trauma is.
Right.
Like brushing it under the rug, brushing it under the couch, because the thing is, it doesn't matter how healthy you eat. It doesn't matter how much you exercise. If you are constantly in a fight or flight state, you're deteriorating your body. Because all of that is taking toll on you. It's taking toll on all of your organs. Like, you can be giving your kidneys all of the nutrients possible, but all of those nutrients are going to go into the body trying to basically alkalize the acidity of stress. So the last part, it's all about getting people to have a perspective change around their life, because honestly, nothing in life is bad. Nothing in life is bad. You can think of it yourself as anything that you may have gone through that felt like it was like the worst thing ever. Now looking back, you realize that the lessons that you got from that like was basically priceless. You know, all about the way that you look at things. And I feel like the way that I explain this to people, because when I talk to people, they're like, well, how can you be so happy if you have experienced this and I've experienced that? And I'm like, if you think about it this way, like, let's say, because the way that I look at it is rape exists, right? So rape is going to happen. And because rape is going to happen, somebody's going to experience rape. If I'm God and I'm looking at two of my children and I'm like, okay, you know what? This is something that exists in this world and it's going to happen to somebody. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, okay, I know her and I know her mindset. I know she can handle some things, but she may not be able to handle rape. Okay, I know this other one and she's really strong too. And with the skills that she have, she may not necessarily be deteriorated by rape. It's not necessarily like you hate one child. It's more so like based on the skills that y'all have, you can handle this, whereas the other person's going to be deteriorated. If I make a choice, like if it exists anyways, and I can handle it, because even when I look back, I am so glad that it wasn't my sister that got raped, because she would have committed suicide, like immediately. She would have been done. So when you look at things like that, you realize that you're not really a victim. Like, I don't look at myself as a victim. I feel like I'm the hero in the story, because I had to be the one to come through to do what was necessary to put this man in jail. You know? Go ahead.
No, I was agreeing. No, I was like, you're the MVP because you were able to get through, do what you need to do, and honestly, you're living your best life right now. So,
yes, girl. Like, yes. The other thing is, people do not understand, since everything is energy, the amount of energy that goes into pain once transformed is a level of joy that you cannot imagine. Like the joy that I'm able to experience in my life at this point, because I've allowed myself to feel the pain fully, is like, it's crazy. Because sometimes I used to make this joke all the time where I'd be like, listen, if I die, it's because I was so happy that my heart kind of stopped beating. Because sometimes it feels like I'm about to jump out of my body. Like, I just get so happy. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Oh my God. Yes. So I'm like, listen, if I die, don't cry or nothing. Make sure y'all twerk at my funeral, because I was just so happy.
That's so funny. But yes, I totally get it. I get it. Because like you said, everything is about energy. As much energy as you can put into one thing, put into being happy, put into, making sure you're good. Because especially being moms, you have to make sure you take care of yourself so you can take care of others. I preach that all the time on my show. It's like, you have to make sure that you're good, because if you're not good, it's definitely going to reflect in your kids.
Ain't nobody good. Like, if you're not good as and it's funny because I think people think, this is not to put men down. I think people think men makes the family, and I'm like, bruh, no.
It's the women.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, the man came out of a vagina. Like, you're basically the mother of everybody in this house. Like, it's crazy because you basically are nurturing everybody in the house.
Yeah, they're just big overgrown kids. That's all. I mean that's what. Yeah,
they serve their purpose, of course, and that's not to put them down, because I definitely feel like I my life is the way that it is because the father of my children is the way that he is. However, I was lied to about the men's role in the household, because it was just like, okay, yeah, they make the household. And it's like, no, you everything, man.
Exactly.
You
No, I agree. Because if you're down, if you're sick, if you don't cook, that means nobody's eating. They might eat for that night, but the next day they're gonna be looking at you like, yo, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, everything is there, and it's a very remarkable thing, because I feel like as women, because I never call myself a feminist, I feel like putting a label on myself just don't work. But I feel like women are so powerful because we're able to see the things that is not seen. Because I feel like that's where women intuition comes in, you know, like, because we're able to feel subtle energies. Like, there's been countless of times where I did not know, like, I was not looking at my children and something said, move. I move and I'm catching somebody that's about to fall. Like, and it's like I don't take advantage of stuff like that. I'm like, this is powerful stuff. Like,
superpowers. We have superpowers. I tell my kids that all the time. They're like my son when we was in the car on not last night, but today when I picked him up, he was like, "Mom, no," because he's 8, and actually, is he 8? Yeah, 8 about to be 9, and he wants to wake up. Girl, we have 5 in all, so that's why I'm like, wait, let me figure it out.
Okay, I understand.
Yes. So, but he wants to wake up to an alarm every day because he has to ride the bus now. So he was like, well, mommy, who's going to wake me up? Because normally his older sister wake him up. And I'm like, well, since she gets to sleep in, I said, I'll wake you up. He was like, but that's pretty early. And I was like, well, mommy doesn't sleep. And he was like, that's how you do it because you stay up for 24 hours. I was like, see, it's a ninja move. I try to tell you, I see everything. And he just looks at me. Yeah. So kids definitely look at us as just being a super person.
They really do. And like, I love how the little boys, like, I mean, I'm biased because I only have boys. I don't know what it's to have a girl. You know,
boys
like,
are awesome. They're awesome.
I don't know, maybe one day. But I just like, I love how, you know, for me, I'm like the center of everybody's world in this house. You know, like, everything is about mommy. And it's just like, it's so amazing because I never had brothers, and because of my experiences with males, and it's funny, like, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get off of it because I don't want to get too spiritual. I feel like we are giving the children like the sex of the children that we need at that time. Like, I personally feel like I ended up with sons because I needed to learn how to have relationships with males. Because prior to my sons, the only relationship that I had with males was sexual. Like, it was more so like, hey, you like me, we go on dates, this, you know, a couple of whatever. But it always felt like the only thing that they wanted from you was sex.
Right.
So, having given birth to sons, like, it basically helped me enter a world where I can have relationship with males. You know, like, where I have a relationship with a male it's not sex based.
It's not sex, right.
It's so amazing because it's like, the relationship I have with my children are beautiful. Like, they teach me so many different things. Like, my first child taught me how to love myself. And my second child taught me my love language. And I wasn't aware of any, like, I was so oblivious to those things. Like, and raising them and watching them, it was just like, oh, like,
this is it.
You know, like, it's like when you parent children, I feel like it gives you an opportunity to reparent yourself.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of healing, like, as I'm raising my children. Like, the patience that I have for them, I have for myself. You know, the way that I'm able to care for them, I care for myself. Because my thing is, if I'm not going to feed it to my children, I'm not going to feed it to you. And I'm not going to feed it to myself. I don't care how old you are. You can be 79 years old. If I'm not going to give it to my children, I'm not going to give it to you. But yeah, I'm gonna get off of that now.
Right. Yeah, that's for another show. Yeah, because when you said that, because I had my daughter first, and I always tell she's my favorite oldest or whatnot. So she know I'm biased, but I've always wanted another girl, and then I end up having 2 boys after. And I grew up in the same type of household. It's just my mom and my sisters. Didn't have any brothers in the household, so all I knew was, girl stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have a girl. She's gonna be easy, whatever. And then I get this little boy, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with him? Like, I don't even know how you dress them. Like, I don't even know what to do. And then now, like, of course, her being older, we have a great relationship, but she is definitely a girl. She's very shy, so it's like me pulling teeth, for showing like emotions and stuff. But my middle son, girl, he gives me kisses every night, and he hugs me. He's just like, "Mommy, I just love you so much. Thank you for all you do." And I'm like, I I needed this. I was like, this is what I needed. So I completely agree.
Oh yes, I love them. Like being a mom is the best thing ever.
Yes.
But okay, so
yes, okay, so we're gonna wrap it up. All right, so gosh, this was an awesome episode. Thank you so much for being a part of it. And Clerichena,
that's correct, right? Great, girl, you're doing great.
Yes. How can you be reached on social media? How can people partner with you as far as with everything that you're doing? That's amazing. How can you be reached?
Well, my you can follow me on Instagram at IAMCLERICHENA. That is I am Clerichena. And you can also reach me on my website, which is spelled the same way, www.iamclerichena.co. So that is iamclerichena.co.
All right, guys, that is it for us. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you would like to get into some more fun, follow us on social media. On Instagram, we are at Bad and Bougie Moms, on Facebook at The Bad and Bougie Moms, and also on Twitter at BBM_podcast. Make sure you like, share, and comment on any of the podcast platforms that you listen to us on. Again, we hope you guys enjoy. See you later.